What's happening, people? Today I'm going to be talking about Ghost in the Shell in 4K Ultra HD. Now, this is my channel actually coming full circle because I actually reviewed this particular movie when the Mondo version came out way back in the day, and it was my first review ever. And if you want to check that out, I will leave a link in the description right here. You can see how far I've come. Believe me, I checked it out, and in my opinion, it's a little rough. But anyway, I won't go through the actual movie review again. You can check that video out if you want to see it. So, I'm going to go straight to the video quality here. Now, this was actually given a 4K scan and given a brand new 4K digital intermediate. Now, this movie has always had a very troubled history when it comes to home media. You know, it has always came across a bit soft, and it has always come across a bit light as far in the detail category, and it seems to get worse over time. I am going to say that this isn't the perfect version of this film, but it's a better one, so it stops the downward trend. So what you have is a lot more detail in just the artwork here, so you can see a lot of finer lines in the detail of a lot of the landscapes and this futuristic world. Sharpness here is better. It's a little bit more sharper while still being pretty soft. It's softer than what the majority of animated films are today. And what I will say is that, hey, this is why I don't review a lot of animated films. I'm going to say around the same thing. There isn't a whole lot of leap between Blu-ray and 4K, at least in my eyes, when it comes to animation. Specifically with the hand-drawn animation, there is only so much that you can do to enhance it. And this has always been soft. It's always going to look soft, and actually it does here. Depth of field is better here, and probably the most disappointing is the HDR. I will say that colors do pop here, and there are just a wide variety of blues, reds, purples, and greens. What I will say is that they don't pop as much as you would originally expect them to pop, and that is unfortunate. Blacks definitely dip to black. There is no grays. This is really, it was hard for me to grade. I am going to give this a 7 out of 10. I do feel like it is an improvement on what has come before for Ghost in the Shell without being a drastic overhaul. In the audio department, though, we do get a Japanese Dolby Atmos track and an English Dolby Atmos track. That is pretty cool. I will always go for the Japanese version in subtitles. That is just my preference. I did check out the English version here just to see if the audio was the same, and it is. So that is awesome as well. And what I'll say here is that this brings the film to life a lot more than the video presentation does. Bass response is pretty good without being great. And when I say that, you know, you have this is a futuristic world where there is some like heavy, almost Ed 209 style robots going on, and you would expect thudding bass at times throughout this movie. You never quite get it. It almost reaches to that level, but always pulls back. And that is my biggest complaint for this audio mix. But when it comes to speaker separation, it is top tier here, and surrounds are heavily used. And at times, people have said about this particular mix that it is used almost too much. I have heard that it kind of brings too much attention to itself, but it makes it sound unnatural. To me, I do like it, and height speakers are used pretty heavily here as well. This is a very good mix that almost reaches the tier of being great, but kind of pulls away from it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's still pretty good. And there is a digital copy here. It redeems for a 4K copy with the Atmos on Vudu. And as far as the supplements here goes, there are this is pretty good, because what you have is the same supplements on the Blu-ray and on the 4K disc. You get an audio commentary track that is pretty good here, and then you also get about a handful of featurettes that go through a variety of things that have to do with the making of this particular movie. It is great. And I do feel like that this is actually a pretty good amount of special features, and I'm actually going to give it a 6 out of 10 too. And as for my last looks at the Ghost in the Shell, look, this movie inspired so much. Take a look at it and you'll know where The Matrix got so much of its ideas from. Because it's this. And so many sci-fi movies of today. They all copy The Matrix, and then The Matrix copied this. This is where it started from. And there is just so many ideas in this movie that are just thrown at you so rapidly and so well done. I mean, this movie is only an hour and a half long, but it covers just so much. The greatest thing about this movie is the way that it doles out its information, and it puts it across so expertly that it just makes it come across effortless, but in reality, it must have taken a lot to get all of this across to people. And when you add up all my scores for Ghost in the Shell in 4K Ultra HD, you come out to a 30 out of 40. That is because of the fact that the movie is so good, and the special features here are pretty damn good as well, along with a video transfer and audio transfer that are just better than what you've seen before. So coming up next on the channel, I do have to go through the 4 films on the Alfred Hitchcock collection in 4K that just came out. I already watched Psycho. That will be the first one. And I do have to check out the others. I will be getting that out to you guys this week. And then, when Full Metal Jacket comes out, baby, you know I'll be there. So, if you're excited about all of that, subscribe and make sure you comment down below. Tell me what you want me to review after that. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't even say it because, hey, you all know it. And I will see all of you next time.